Patrick Dorgu is training well with Man United and is expected to instantly make his debut for the club against Leicester City in our FA Cup fourth round game that will take place on Friday. But how exactly is Ruben Amorim about to use him? Welcome to the United Sport. My name is Webb, and here we are again to talk about our new recruit and what exactly we should expect from him after, of course, us being quite excited about his arrival. Honestly, I think many of us were excited about his arrival, and him being the only signing of January comes with a bit of pressure, but not one that he cannot contain. At least if you read him by his first interview, man, guy has a huge voice, deep, strong voice, talks so precisely well. He's quite a character, I feel, but we'll see him. But let's get proper into his uses. So Dorgu is a versatile player. The versatility of Patrick Dorgu is something that perhaps we might not have paid enough attention to. I've told you here before of how he can play on the left and also be inverted on the right behind Ahmad. But it looks interesting that his best position, at least if you base on stats, even at Lecce where he was playing, because his last coach at Lecce played him in the past for about 10 games. He played him as a right wing back, as an inverted winger. Now, it seems to be that is his best position, because the 3 goals he has scored for Lecce have come with him playing as a right wing back. That means as an inverted winger. Now, that's interesting. It's an interesting start for a player to have, because if you play a position where you can score goals as well, it shows that is where you're more happy and more expressive. So does that then mean that Amorim might be considering actually playing him more behind Amad Diallo, who usually he loves to play as one of the number 10s on the right? That's an interesting debate. But of course, we also know that on the left, there has been big issues. And of course, there are bigger issues now, considering that Lisandro Martinez isn't there. So there is going to be an interesting, I think, thing to observe there concerning this boy. But for me, his versatility is quite important. It's even surprising more that if you follow the journey of a player like Dorgu, I mean, there are players who have been like him. I'll give you an example of Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale started as a left back, but he ended up being one of the best attacking midfielders in perhaps in the recent history of football. Now, Dorgu is likened to Gareth Bale, that he can play as a left back, played as a wing back, then turned into an inverted winger, but ended up being such a beautiful attacking midfielder. Now remember, Man United needs creativity. Now, the biggest attribute about Dorgu's game that we must be excited to look out for is his creativity. And it's interesting that we're talking about creativity from a player who I said was a left back. That's his initial position, a left back. So there is a very interesting dimension to Dorgu's game that should be exciting to see, and he seems to fit in directly into what Ruben Amorim wants, because even in his own words, he says the Amorim system fits him, or it suits him as a player, again, because the roles in that system that are critical for Amorim are the roles he loves to play: the left wing back, left back, but also the inverted winger position. Even he can also play behind the number 10, behind the number 9 as one of the 2 number 10s, because like I said, he's likened to Gareth Bale because of how his career has been progressing. So guys, we cannot sit here and claim to know what exactly Amorim is planning to use with Dorgu, but we are looking at a player who can solve multiple problems for this team, brings multiple solutions for this team. I think it's beginning, because I've been, trying to research and get properly understand why Dorgu first. I think that versatility can give you a proper idea of why exactly Amorim went for him first in this January transfer window. And I mean, the fact that he's 20 is another interesting thing, because he's young. That is, he's extremely young, yet he's so full of energy and pace. Now, that energy and pace and power are what Amorim wants, but you add on his versatility and you feel Amorim has a perfect player to work with for the future. He's not the finished article. Let's get it straight. He's not the finished article. He's not world class. He's not a big player, big time player, but he has got those critical attributes that Amorim would want currently in the squad that he has to give it a semblance of what he loves to do as a football coach, of how he wants to play. So Dorgu is an important player for Man United. You can, of course, talk about his the pressure, but for me the thing is, I mean, this is only one game before a break. So United plays on Friday against Leicester City, and immediately after that we go into a break, a long, not so long, of course, but we go into a break that is going to see us return to action. You know, I think that at the end of the month, for me, I look at that as something that perhaps eases the pressure of these players, because if you give your all, because United has been struggling, and Amorim will need time to reorganize these boys. Now, if you've been struggling and you have a Leicester City, of course, coached by Ruud van Nistelrooy, that's something we need to put in mind, because we know the relationship Van Nistelrooy had built with these players is quite something important. But you give it your all, you get a feeling that that it's a good game for Dorgu to make a debut, because after that game, it's going to take a while for him to be returning to action. He's going to rest, and even if it doesn't go well, there is not a lot of constant pressure for him to endure because of the break. For me, the break is a perfect timing. So I would rather you play him now. We go into the break with him feeling it. Take the cold. Just take the fear, the nerves away from him, so that by the time we come proper back into the action, because the moment we return from the break, we are going straight on banging into the Premier League, where the harder fights are. He will be well prepared and fresh. You won't have the stage fright. So for me, the Leicester game is a perfect game, and I'm sure Amorim will know well that it's the perfect game to play Chido Obi, regardless of whether he's 100% ready. You can never be 100% ready as a player to start, but so as long as you're physically fit, you should be, and you're training well, you should be able to slide into a team like Man United that is hugely struggling. So guys, we have a Gareth Bale in the making upon us, but it will all depend on, of course, how English football does embrace him. That's Dorgu for you. Let's wait and see how exactly the young boy will perform. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will be back a little bit later for us to talk more about Man United and, of course, what exactly more we should expect from Ruben Amorim going forward, because it's been really, really a difficult time. The transfer talk is done. It's now us to get proper into the football talk. Subscribe, like, and share, and let me catch you later. Cheers.